Money doesn't make people stupid, it just gives their stupidity a budget and Wi-Fi. Fact 1. The mansion with no furniture, aka millionaire minimalism gone wrong. Our first financial disaster stars a Florida man who won $16 million and decided to live like a king, on a folding chair. The guy bought a mansion the size of a mall but forgot one crucial detail: furniture. For months, he sat in an empty 8,000 square foot echo chamber, eating takeout on a lawn chair like a monarch of poor planning. When asked why he hadn't decorated yet, he said he was waiting to see how the sunlight moves through the house. Translation: he was waiting for divine interior design inspiration that never came. By the time the light finished moving, the house was in foreclosure. Turns out, sunlight doesn't pay mortgages. It's the perfect symbol of lottery logic. When people suddenly get rich, they don't buy comfort or sense. They buy echo. Fact 2. The guy who bought an island without checking the map. Every broke person's fantasy. If I had millions, I'd buy an island and never talk to anyone again. Well, one Scottish lottery winner actually did it, and accidentally bought a rock, a literal uninhabitable rock. No electricity, no running water, not even a dock to land his boat. He spent £500,000 on what was essentially a bird rest stop. The man discovered the problem only after trying to dock and nearly sinking his new yacht on arrival. Locals nicknamed it Gilligan's Mistake, which feels generous, considering he couldn't even live on it. He had to sell it 2 years later for less than the cost of the boat he destroyed trying to reach it. It's the ultimate flex in financial idiocy, buying a private island just to find out even nature doesn't want you there. Fact 3. The woman who buried her millions in the backyard. Because who needs banks when you have trust issues and a shovel? After winning $3 million, an Alabama woman decided the safest vault in the world was her backyard. She stuffed her fortune into garbage bags, buried them behind her house, and called it financial security. Unfortunately, her husband had slightly different landscaping plans. A few months later, while regrading the yard with a rented backhoe, he accidentally turned her secret treasure into a neighborhood cash tornado. Kids were literally chasing $100 bills down the street like it was a rap video sponsored by Divine Karma. When reporters asked her about it, she said, "The Lord will provide," and he did, to everyone except her. It's the kind of story that makes you realize paranoia doesn't make you smart. It just makes your money biodegradable. Fact 4. The guy who built a racetrack in his front yard. Some people win $5 million and buy a home. Others buy sanity. This guy from Ohio bought asphalt, a lot of it. Freshly rich and freshly delusional, he decided to pave his 12-acre property into a personal NASCAR circuit. His explanation? It's for me and the boys. Within weeks, the sound of roaring engines turned his quiet suburb into a live-action Fast and Furious sequel, minus the talent, physics, or common sense. Neighbors complained nonstop about the noise, the fumes, and the occasional flying hubcap. His defense in court? They should have known I was going to do something awesome. Lawsuits piled up faster than his lap times, and eventually the property was seized for unpaid debts. His lawyer summed it up perfectly. My client believed money made him faster than the law. Spoiler alert, it didn't. The racetrack closed, the house got repossessed, and the dream of suburban NASCAR glory ended where it began, in a pit stop of stupidity. Fact 5. The man who won the lottery. Twice, and still went broke. You'd think that after winning 2 lotteries, someone might accidentally develop a little financial wisdom. Not this guy from Virginia. He hit the jackpot twice. First $3 million, then another $1 million a few years later. It was like the universe gave him a second chance just to watch him ruin it twice as hard. He spent his fortune on cars, parties, and what he proudly called investments in good vibes. When asked what those investments were, he answered completely serious, mostly jet skis. Imagine having millions and choosing to diversify your portfolio exclusively in water toys. Within a decade, both fortunes were gone. The same news crew that once filmed him holding a giant check later found him working at a convenience store, selling lottery tickets. The irony was so thick, you could sell it by the pound. Turns out, luck can make you rich, but intelligence decides how long you stay that way. Fact 6. The woman who tried to bribe karma. Winning $8 million should make you feel invincible, unless you immediately start tipping the universe like it's a waiter. After her big win, a woman in California became obsessed with keeping her energy positive. Her strategy? Tip everyone. Waiters, Uber drivers, dentists, even her mailman all got $100 bills just to keep her cosmic vibes flowing. By the end of year one, she had tipped away nearly $700,000. Then came her pièce de résistance, giving $50,000 to a self-proclaimed fortune coach who promised to align her wealth frequency. Translation, he aligned it straight into his offshore account. When she realized she'd been scammed, she told reporters, "I guess the universe was testing me." Oh, it did. And the final test came from the IRS. Her so-called good karma ended in an audit, proving once and for all that generosity without math is just charity for con artists. Fact 7. The man who faked his own death for some peace and quiet. Most people dream of financial freedom. This Michigan lottery winner dreamed of freedom from people. After scoring $4 million, he decided he'd had enough of taxes, family drama, and reality itself. So he faked his own death, staged a canoe accident, vanished, and started fresh 3 states away under a new name. He told his new girlfriend he was a humble woodworker, conveniently leaving out the part where he was also a wanted millionaire ghost. It all went surprisingly well until one night, fueled by beer and hubris, he bragged in a bar, "You're looking at a lottery ghost, baby." She Googled him. The cops arrived. His shocked wife, now technically a widow, sued for emotional damages. The judge, likely suppressing laughter, said, "You can fake your death, sir, but you can't fake intelligence." He went from millionaire to inmate faster than his fake obituary hit the local paper. Apparently, peace and quiet cost exactly 1 brain cell per $1. Fact 8. The couple who bought matching Lamborghinis and divorced over the colors. Nothing says true love like a his and hers midlife crisis. After hitting a $12 million jackpot, a Nevada couple decided to celebrate romance the only way Americans know how, with matching Lamborghinis. His was neon green, hers was hot pink. It was a relationship built on horsepower, envy, and bad taste. Within 6 months, they were in divorce court, arguing about who got which car. Their reasoning? Green represented jealousy, and pink was for winners. The judge, probably questioning every life choice that led him there, ordered the cars sold to pay legal fees. One of them kept revving their Lambo in the courthouse parking lot out of spite, which somehow feels poetic. The lawyer summed it up perfectly. "This is the only case I've seen where the assets depreciated during the trial. Moral of the story: love might conquer all, except 700 horsepower, clashing paint jobs, and a marriage running on premium-grade ego." Fact 9. The guy who gave away his fortune. For the vibes. Some people say money can't buy happiness. This Oregon man took that as a personal challenge and decided to give it all away to prove money wasn't real. After winning $2 million, he announced he'd become a philosopher of abundance and started hosting public cash giveaways. Literally. He'd stand in parks handing out $100 bills to strangers like a deranged Santa Claus with no business plan. People drove from 6 states just to line up for his generosity, and within a month, he was flat broke. When reporters caught up with him living in his van, he claimed he'd never felt freer. Maybe, but freedom doesn't come with air conditioning. He told one journalist, "I still believe I'm rich in spirit. Sure, but your spirit doesn't pay for Wi-Fi, gas, or the parking tickets piling up on your mobile enlightenment unit. It's the ultimate modern parable. Give a man money and he'll prove how fast vibes can turn into van life." Fact 10. The grandma who bought a jet ski. In the desert, most grandmas celebrate winning $1.5 million by taking a cruise or spoiling the grandkids. But not this Arizona legend. At 82 years old, she took one look at her dry, cactus-filled neighborhood and said, "I'm buying a jet ski." And she did, a neon yellow one, parked proudly in her driveway like a sunburned spaceship. When neighbors pointed out that the nearest lake was 200 miles away, she shrugged and said, "It reminds me I can leave any time." She even bought a life jacket and wore it around the house for motivation. For years, the jet ski just sat there, glistening under the desert sun, a monument to delusion and unshakable optimism. When her grandson suggested selling it, she replied, "Why would I? It's my dream." And honestly, she's not wrong. Every neighborhood needs a reminder that financial freedom doesn't always look like success. Sometimes it looks like a grandma in flip-flops posing next to a useless watercraft, living her best landlocked life. Fact 11. The guy who built a moat around his house. Every millionaire wants security, but one Texas lottery winner decided cameras were too mainstream. After bagging $10 million, he went full medieval and ordered contractors to dig an actual moat around his suburban home, complete with a drawbridge, plastic alligators, and a handmade sign that read, "No peasants allowed." The neighbors were not amused. Within a week, the Homeowners Association sued him for unauthorized castle activity. His defense? If it was good enough for kings, it's good enough for Texas. Unfortunately, his kingdom didn't last long. Local kids discovered the moat made an excellent swimming pool, and the city forced him to fill it in after several raids by inflatable flamingo. His architectural masterpiece existed for a glorious 23 days, the shortest-lived monarchy in suburban history. He spent the rest of his fortune paying legal fees and removing the fake crocodiles, because nothing says financial genius like turning your mansion into a failed Renaissance fair. Fact 12. The teen who spent his inheritance on a supercar and a sound system. Some teenagers blow their inheritance on college. Others blow it, literally, through the tailpipe of a Lamborghini. A 19-year-old from London inherited $2 million and immediately decided education was for the poor. He bought a matte black Lamborghini Huracan and spent another $50,000 installing a sound system so loud it could probably summon bats from space. Within weeks, he became a local legend, and within months, a local embarrassment. He racked up speeding tickets, parking fines, and a small army of angry neighbors who claimed their windows rattled every time he started the engine. When police finally impounded the car, he live-streamed himself, shouting, "You can't take my freedom!" Spoiler, they did. He sold the car to pay the fines, crashed a rented one 2 days later, and was last seen driving a used Toyota Yaris with a Bluetooth speaker duct taped to the dashboard. Turns out, the only thing faster than his Lamborghini was his journey from millionaire to meme. Fact 13. The crypto bro who lost his fortune and his password. You know the type: hoodie, laptop, and the absolute confidence of someone who's never experienced consequences. This 29-year-old self-proclaimed crypto visionary turned a $250,000 investment into $12 million during the Bitcoin boom. For a brief, shining moment, he was unbearable, tweeting about financial freedom and calling himself the future of money. Then came the plot twist. He forgot the password to his digital wallet. Just like that, $12 million became an expensive screensaver. He tried everything: password recovery software, hypnotic regression, even hiring a crypto psychic who claimed she could feel the correct password energy through vibrations. Spoiler, she couldn't. His final attempt involved a YouTube tutorial and a hammer, which ended with a broken laptop and an existential crisis. He now gives TED Talks about the emotional journey of loss, which is just tech bro for "I nuked my millions because I used the same password as my Netflix account." It's not a crypto tragedy. It's poetic justice written in blockchain. Fact 14. The man who tried to sue himself for losing his money. Some financial disasters are sad. Others are performance art. After blowing through a $5 million inheritance on cars, parties, and something he called creative enlightenment retreats, a man from Los Angeles decided he needed someone to blame: himself. So, naturally, he sued himself for financial negligence. He actually filed paperwork, listing himself as both plaintiff and defendant. In court, he argued that his younger, impulsive self had sabotaged his financial future and owed him damages. The judge reportedly paused for a full 30 seconds, possibly questioning the state of humanity, before dismissing the case on grounds of, well, existence. His lawyer, yes, he had one, said it was the first time he'd ever seen a man lose a lawsuit and money to himself simultaneously. The only thing more tragic than the legal fees was his closing statement: "At least I held myself accountable." Somewhere, Darwin is slow clapping. Money doesn't make us smarter, it just gives our stupidity a bigger stage. Which one of these financial catastrophes deserves its own Netflix comedy? Drop your votes in the comments. I'll bring the popcorn.